Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. I'm Zemo, the Dan DPS, and today we are back with another episode of The Good, The Scrap, and The Script, a series where I review weapons I've either made or found in Appalachia and see if they cut the mustard. And today's weapon you saw yesterday, and it is glorious. But before we get into that, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. So today's weapon is Apocalypse Wow, a name that I aptly named this gun. It is bloodied, explosive, and crit charge on there, and it has been something I've been searching for a long time. Now, I will say that I would have preferred this to be two-shot, because I have an obsession with two-shot explosive. Unnatural, unhealthy, but I have an obsession with it. But this is definitely something that I have been looking for a long time. I love Crusader pistols. I love all and any variations of them, with the exception of the absolute naff effects like stalkers and depressors. But that's just me. You know, some people might like those. I don't agree with them, but you know, some people might. Either way, let's get on with the testing. First off, we'll show you what build I'm using so you know what and why the damage is the way it is. So this is the build that we're using. I'm not using anything particularly random. It's just kind of weight reduction stuff, a bunch of different things to help me go around and do my usual leveling and whatnot. I wouldn't dwell too much on what I'm using. There's not really anything too ridiculously OP or random. Alrighty, so we're in Westec with the Super Mutants. Now, one thing I will say about this weapon is do not, and I have to stress this, do not get close to your enemies. This thing has the pyro effect, and it will absolutely mince you with the explosions. If you are too close to your enemies, you're gonna die. So do not get close to any enemies while using this. Now, you can use it stealth, and the same problem with all explosion weapons while stealthed applies. Like, this is going to absolutely rinse you if you're too close to them, but you also have the chance of being discovered because explosions create additional stealth checks. But I never really find a problem with that, I'll be honest. Like you're seeing, we've not been discovered by these guys. Now you're seeing that this is actually completely rinsing them. It destroys enemies so easily. It's such a powerful little pistol. More so than, why is that thing dead? More so than before. Explosion, bloodied, it is just very good, and because you do have that fire AoE damage, it does actually deal some damage to enemies as well. Now you've seen I've been discovered, so the easiest thing to do is just run off a little bit and find enemies who have not discovered me. So we'll go down here, and these guys will not have a clue that I'm here. And this is the thing, like, yeah, you can be discovered there, you can do things, but it's really not an issue. Now we'll try some damage outside of stealth, and I'll show you, and I'll just try and keep my distance from them, because again, I will die if I'm close, but you're seeing it's still killing them fairly quickly for a non-automatic and only a 10mm weapon. The crits on this thing are quite hefty, as you're seeing as well. We're getting some very good damage. And if you obviously want to use a silenced crit version of this weapon, then having explosions on it isn't the best idea, but it can be used in stealth in a lot of situations. As you can see, there's the damage on myself from being too close, and the range on that is actually quite big, so it might even be an idea to take like Grenadier off if you're using this, just to reduce that a little bit. But it is a very strong weapon, and it completely destroys anything I'm up against. Now, with any of these videos, we take our next attacks to Jeff. Now you're seeing, before Jeff's even got up and discovered us, he's nearly dead. Like, the damage in this thing is absolutely brutal, and it will completely kill anything in stealth. And again, if you wanted a fully stealth version of it, then I would recommend that you basically don't go for explosions, go for that crit damage in the middle. Now, with any of my videos, once we are done with Jeff, we head to the Mirelurk Queen. Now what we're going to do is cripple her legs using Modern Renegade, which I swapped onto the build, because, yeah, she is a big pain in the butt when it comes to any weapon other than that. Now you're seeing, this is the kind of best way to take out the Queen, is just aim for the legs and pretty much deal with her that way. Now this is only a level 61, but you're seeing it kills them pretty quickly, and it is just cripple her limbs and then aim for the legs, get behind her and shoot her in the sides of the back, because the spouts can still shoot you from distance, and yeah, she went down pretty quickly. So yeah, like most of my videos, we take this weapon to Atlantic City and expeditions. Now, this is one of the few weapons that are in Fallout 76 that can be used with the friendly fire perk, and at a range, the other being the cremator, and the other being other random explosive energy weapons with fire damage, which might actually not come to the game anymore. Now, this thing is absolutely fantastic at killing things. Like you can see, it's killing the creatures in here with relative ease. The only downside with it is that your stealth is not guaranteed because, unfortunately, the explosion does trigger additional stealth checks. But at the same time, if you get good distance on the enemies, find a good vantage point that they can't get up to, you can use that and absolutely annihilate them anyway. The damage on it's actually quite consistent, even when you're not in stealth, and it's just overall a very decent gun to use. Now, when it comes to getting ammo back in here, you are going to get them back in spades against the humanoid enemies, which are most of the enemies in this expedition. They don't stand a chance against you, and luckily, most of them use like range weapons, so they don't deliberately try and get on top of your ass. But the ones that do, you are going to need to get a distance on them and shoot them that way. Do not shoot them up close, you will die. But also, the AoE damage and the dot damage from the fire from this weapon is going to be buffed in the future as well. Like there's going to be lots of different things that this is going to do, and I'm just really looking forward to Crusader pistols coming into their own within the next couple of patches and things like that. It's just one of those guns that I have always felt was really fun, really cool. And it's received a bunch of love recently in terms of the additional fire damage, the resistance of enemies is going to be changing. There's lots of different things here that are going to change in the near future that could make this weapon incredibly, incredibly fun to play for a lot of people. If you don't have a Crusader pistol yet, and you haven't used a Crusader pistol, I would heavily recommend it, because this bloodied explosive version completely destroys the majority of enemies that I come across. I'm not going to say it is the best weapon in the game, I'm not going to say it's a god killer, but it does very well and gets me through 99% of situations in this game. So, that was today's weapon. Now, this is obviously something I say quite a lot. Crusader pistols have always been one of my favourites. I have so many favourite weapons in this game, it is obscene. I just enjoy testing and playing with stuff. And this has been one that I have loved since it came out. The idea of it, the fact that it was used to be called the Chimera pistol, I always found really interesting because it used different damage types. And overall, I think it's a weapon that needs a lot of love, and this version of it is just so good in comparison to the other ones that I've had in the past. It's taken me a long time to craft decent ones of these, I'm going to be honest. But if you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions of videos or things you'd love to see in future content, leave that in the comments down below, and we'll catch you all next time in the Wasteland.
You hear him barking, you feel you're close to the end, running through the night, shadows lurking round the bend, heart pounding fast, adrenaline